Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I'm Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Brothers Grimm in Selden, New York, where I will be fighting a Commander Kill Team mission between my Grey Knights and Ben's Adeptus Mechanicus. So the story that we've got going on here is that this planet suffered a demonic incursion, and the forces of the Adeptus Mechanicus were here to fight them back to protect this planet for the Imperium. The Grey Knights were called in for assistance, and together they successfully managed to stop the incursion and send all of those creatures back to the warp. But at the end of the battle, the Inquisition declared that the forces of the Adeptus Mechanicus that saw the demons had to have their minds wiped to remove that portion of their existence from there so that they could go on and keep that secret. But the Adeptus Mechanicus declared that that was an affront to the machine god and that the Adeptus Mechanicus never deletes anything, including their brains. So they fought back against them to keep from having their brains wiped. And the Grey Knights were told by the Inquisition that if they don't want to have their minds wiped, then they need to be wiped. So they are just all out. They are fighting for their lives. The Grey Knights are fighting to kill them to keep the secrets of the demons from spreading. So that is the story that we've got going on. We are going to be playing the Crush Their Champions mission from the Elite's book. It is a commander mission. Essentially what happens is we score 3 points if we manage to kill our opponent's commander, and you score 1 point for every other leader, every other specialist that you kill. So you've got the leader, and then the 3 other specialists that you have on each of our squads are worth 1 point at the end of the game. And also, if your commander is dead, when you're checking to see if your kill team is broken, they are automatically broken if your commander is dead. Also, if your commander kills an enemy unit, all other models that were shaken within 6 inches of him are no longer shaken. So pretty cool. So that is going to be it for the story. That is going to be it for the mission. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Grey Knights, my kill team will consist of, from left to right here, we have my commander, who is a brother captain with falchions. We then have a leader, who is a Justicar with a force halberd. We have a combat specialist with a force halberd. We then have a heavy specialist, who is a Grey Knight gunner with a silencer. Comm specialist is a Grey Knight gunner with a psi cannon. And we have one more Grey Knight with a Nemesis force sword. And for the Adeptus Mechanicus, from left to right, his kill team will consist of his commander, who is a tech priest Manipulus. We then have his leader, who is a Skitarii Ranger Alpha. We then have a Skitarii Ranger Gunner with a Transuranic Arquebus, who will be his sniper specialist. We have his combat specialist, who is an infiltrator, and we have a Vanguard with a plasma caliver as his comm specialist. We then have a Ranger with a plasma caliver. We have 2 more regular Rangers, and we have a Vanguard with a data tether. All right, so those are the kill teams. Going over deployment, I've got my combat specialist up front here. Behind him, I've got my leader. I've got my heavy specialist here. I've got my regular Grey Knight, and then I've got my comm specialist over there. And my brother captain will be in Deep Strike Reserves. Or just reserves, I guess, in kill teams, just reserves. Going over deployment here for the Adeptus Mechanicus. He's got his 2 regular Vanguard over here. He's got his Vanguard with the Rangers. I'm sorry, 2 regular Rangers. They got the Ranger with the plasma caliver up front here. We've got his Vanguard with the data tether next to him over there. We've got his combat specialist here. We then have his Manipulus back over here along with his leader. And then we've got his comm specialist and his sniper up on top over here. So that is going to be it for deployment. We will now roll off to see who will have initiative going into turn 1. We'll roll that one that was cocked there. So that's going to be an 11-7. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Grey Knights. All right, movement phase for the Grey Knights. All 3 of these guys just moved up this way towards them. These guys readied themselves, and that is it for the movement phase. So we will for the Grey Knight movement here. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Adeptus Mechanicus. All right, going over movement phase for the Adeptus Mechanicus. Readied. So all 6 of those, including his Manipulus, his comms, his sniper, the 2 and the 3 Rangers over here, all readied. so they get priority in the shooting phase. Then he had his leader over here moved, as did his vanguard with the data tether over this way, moved over this way to create a little bit of a bubble, expecting my brother captain to drop in on them, perhaps. And then he's going to have a charge. So this guy is going to charge into whom? Just the one guy?
Yeah,
just the one regular guy? All right, so we're going to have Overwatch from him. Should have got my dice a little bit earlier. So he's got his Stormbolter there, so he's within 12 inches, so it's going to be 4 shots, hitting on 6s. Getting 1 fill face there. Strength 4, toughness 3. That is going to be a wound. AP nothing. 4 up save. He's good with that 6. So now he's got his charge distance here. 5 inches will not be enough, I don't think. And then at the end of the movement phase, I dropped my brother captain back over here, looking on his Dubros over here. So we'll see how this all plays out. All right, so starting off the shooting phase now, my my comm specialist with a side cannon is going to fire into his sniper over here. So he's more than half range, and he is obscured. So it's going to be 4 shots here, hitting on 5s because of those 2 modifiers. Getting 1 hit. This is strength 7 though, so wounding on a 2. That is going to be a wound, AP -1. So he's looking for a 5 up save, right? 5 up save. No, does not make it. So it's 1 damage. He's only got 1 wound though. So let's see if he is out of action. On a 6, he is out. All right, so now his Manipulus is going to fire into my brother captain over here. He is obscured, but he's within half range over here. So it's going to be 1 shot, right? Mm-hmm. 1 shot hitting on a 4 because of the -1. No hit. All right, so he's going to spend a command point to reroll that. Oh no. All right, so now my heavy specialist here, the side cannon, or the silencer, is going to fire into his Manipulus over here. He's going to get the +1 from the comm specialist, but he's more than half range and obscured back there, so these are going to be hitting on 4s after all is said and done. Okay, getting 1 hit. Strength 4, toughness 4, so looking for a 4 to wound. That is a wound. AP minus, 1 second. Yep, AP minus nothing, so he's going to have his 3 up save. He's good. Actually, it would have been a 2 up, but still good. All right, so now his comm specialist up here is going to fire into my brother captain over there. He is going to supercharge, so he's going to have 2 shots with his plasma caliber here. -1 to hit because of him being obscured. All right, that's going to be 2 hits. Pretty good there. Strength 8, so looking for 2s to wound. That is going to be 2 wounds, AP -3. So that's going to be looking for a 4-up invul save because of Iron Halos. And I make 1, fail 1, so that's going to be 2 damage. All right, so now his Dubro over here, his Ranger with the Plasma Caliber is going to fire into my Grey Knight over here. He's going to get the Comm Specialist +1, so he's going to be hitting on 2s because he's not obscured and within half range, and he's going to supercharge. So it's going to be 2 shots, hitting on 2s. All right, so that's 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 2s. Getting 1 wound, but AP -3 means I'm looking for a 6-up save. Show me that fill first. No fill phase there, so that is going to be 2 damage. So 2 injury roll, 2 dice injury roll, and a 1 and a 6, he is out. All right, so now his other guys here are going to fire. This guy is going to fire into my brother captain over here, so he's going to have 2 shots, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 1 hit. Strength, what is it? Strength 4, so 4 to wound. That is a wound. 2-up armor save. No, I'm going to spend a CP to re-roll that because that would be embarrassing, and he gets the save.
I guess he would be
and his other guy over here, no, you can see him. He's straight through over here, so he's just going to have another 2 shots over here, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 4s again. Getting 2 wounds. One's at AP -1, so we'll do the one at AP -1 first. So that's going to be looking for a 3-up save. Good with the fill face. Woo! And then the 2-up save. Yeah, he good. All right, so my brother captain is now going to fire into his Dubro, his comm specialist up here. He's going to have 4 shots with his Stormbolter because he's within 12 inches, but he is obscured, so it's going to be hitting on 3s. Okay, so that's going to be 2 hits. Strength 4, toughness 3, so looking for 3s to wound. That is 1 wound. AP nothing. 4-up save. No, it's going to go through. Is he out of action? On a 5 he is. So now his leader over here is going to fire into my dude bro over here. That's going to be 2 hits. That is going to be 2 wounds.
1 at -1.
1 at -1, so the 3 up for the -1. Nope, 2 up for the other one. Good for that. All right, so now my combat specialist over here is going to fire into these guys. He's going to put 2 shots into here, 2 shots into him. We'll do the 2 into the plasma guy first. That is going to be 2 hits. That is going to be 2 wounds with fill faces. So 2 4-up saves. Makes 1, fails 1. And with a 1, he takes a flesh wound. And then the 2 shots into this guy. That's going to be 1 hit. But that's going to be a wound. That is not a save. And a 6, he's out. And then his dude bro with the data tether is going to fire into my combat specialist over here. So he's going to have 2, what is it, 3 shots? 3 shots, hitting on 4s, because he's obscure. Right?
5s.
5s, oh, range, because of range and 0. So 5s to hit. No hits there. Rerolling 1s because of his canonical. Sorry, my bad. That's going to be 1 hit. Strength 3, so 5s to wound. No wound. All right, and so now my leader is going to fire into his wounded Dubro there. That is going to be 1 hit. That is not a wound.
2 dice.
All right, so it's that's going to be the end of the shooting phase. We have no fight phase to go into because no one got into combat there, so that's going to go take us to the morale phase. We've only got, no one has to roll to see if they're broken, but one guy does have to roll to see if he's shaken because he has a flesh wound. So he's going to roll 1d6 and add 3 guys that are out, so to 6. His leadership is 6, right? Yep. So he is good to go. So that's going to be the end of turn 1 here. We'll now roll to see who has initiative going into turn 2. I roll a 6. My opponent rolls a 5, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Grey Knights. All right, so into turn 2, my opponent rolled for his canonicals this turn and got the reroll 1s again in the shooting phase. So moving into the movement phase for the Grey Knights here, we're going to start with my brother captain, who is going to charge into this guy and into him. So I need a 5-inch charge to get in here. I need a 7-inch charge to get into his manipulus over here. So we'll start with Overwatch from whom first?
Let's start with the Ranger.
We'll start with the Ranger first. So 2 shots here, hitting on 6s.
5s because
hitting on
Forge World.
5s because of his Forge World. He chose Forge World. What is it again? Agrippina. No hits there. And then from his Dubro over here. No hit there. So, again, looking for a 7-inch charge to get into him, 5-inch charge to get into him. And with an 11, he's in. And now my combat specialist is going to charge into these 2 guys. So we'll start with the Ranger over here first, hitting on 5s, getting 1 hit. Strength 4, so looking for 4 to wound. No wound. And then the Plasma Caliber bro, he's going to fire. He is going to supercharge. Why not? Here we go, on 5s. Okay, that's why not. But so you got 1 hit, but he will be dead. So this is going to be looking for 2s to wound. That is a wound. Looking for a fill first. No, that's going to go through. So it's 2 damage.
He's a hero.
He is a hero and takes him out in Overwatch. And I think it's just is it a mortal wound or is he removed? I think he's just slain, so he's just straight up slain. And then both my comm specialist, my heavy specialist, and my leader all moved up into position over here. So that's going to be it for the movement phase for the Grey Knights. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the for the Adeptus Mechanicus. All right, so his Ranger over here moved, his Vanguard over here moved, and his leader over here moved up into this position. He's stuck in combat with my brother captain, and now his combat specialist is going to charge into my brother captain over here. So he's going to no Overwatch because he's engaged over there. And 7 inches will get him in. All right, completely forgot about psychic tests, psychic phase last turn, so we're going to go into it now. My brother captain here is going to cast Hammerhand onto himself, looking for a 5, or actually looking for a 4 because I get +1 as a Grey Knight. That's going to go off there, giving him +1 to wound. And then my leader is going to try to sidebolt his Dubro over here. On a 10 becomes an 11 because of their +1. That's going to be D3 mortal wounds. Doesn't make a difference. The first one is enough. So here we go. Is he out of action? On a 3, he's not. Takes a flesh wound. All right, so starting off the shooting phase, my leader is going to fire into his leader over there. So he's going to have 4 shots. He's going to take the +1 from the comm specialist, so making him basically ignoring the obscurement penalty because he's within half range. So it's going to be 4 shots, hitting on 3s because of the +1 from the comms, -1 from obscurement. That is going to be 4 hits, looking for a toughness 3, right? So 3s to wound. That is going to be 3 wounds there. AP nothing, so 3 4-ups. Oh, makes them all. Well done. All right, so now his Vanguard's going to fire into my leader over here. He's going to have 3 shots here. These are going to be hitting on 4s because of obscurement. He's within half range. So getting 1 hit there, rerolling 1s because of the Mechanicals. That's going to be 2 hits. There we go. Strength 4. Oh, strength 3. So looking for 5s to wound. No wounds. So now my heavy specialist is going to fire with his silencer into his leader back over there. So he's going to have 6 shots here, hitting on 5s because he's outside of 12 and obscured. He's got a heavy weapon, but he's the heavy specialist, so he gets to ignore that. Getting 1 hit. Strength 4, toughness 3, so 3s to wound. That is a wound. AP nothing. Makes the save. All right, so now his ranger over here is going to fire into my leader. He's going to be hitting on 5s because of being obscured and the fact that he's got a flesh wound. That is going to be 2 hits. Well done. These are going to be strength 4, so these are looking for 4s to wound. Getting 1 wound there. AP nothing, so looking for a 3-up save. He's good. Woo! And now my comm specialist back over here is going to fire into his leader with his heavy weapon. So looking for 6s to hit because he's obscured, more than 12 inches away, and he moved with a heavy weapon. Getting no hits. And then some more leader on leader violence as his leader shoots into my leader over here. So he's more than half range and he's obscured, so hitting on 5s. Nope, no hits there. Rerolling 1s because of the mechanical. Hey, into a hit. There you go. That is a wound.
-1.
At AP -1, so it's looking for a 4-up save. But he makes it! All right, so my brother captain is now going to start us off in the fight phase. He's got 4 attacks base, +1 for being melee specialism, and +1 attack because of having 2 falchions. And he is going to attack into his manipulus over here. He's going to have 6 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 2s. All right, so it's going to be 5 hits. These are strength 4, strength user, strength 4. He's toughness 4. Would normally be wounding on 4s, but because of hammerhand, are now wounding on 3s. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. AP -2. What's his armor save?
So he's looking 2 up becomes a 4 up.
2 up becomes a 4-up save. Failing 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. He only has 4 wounds, right? So the D3 does not make a difference. So yeah, he is dead. I keep forgetting about flesh wounds for commanders. I don't know why I keep... it's too much 40K. So here we go. So the first one that goes through is going to do D3 damage. Is going to do 3 damage to him, so he's down to 1 wound. And then the next one that goes through is going to do 2 damage, which takes him down to 0, which means his injury roll is now going to be 2d6. And on a 5, he is now out of action. So now he's dead. All right, so now my opponent is going to activate his combat specialist, who is going to spend, 2 CP on Combat Doctrina Imperative to allow his dude bro to have +1 to hit, right?
Yes.
So he's going to have all of his attacks are going to be hitting on 2s. All right, so that's going to be 3 hits. These are strength, what is it?
6.
Strength 6, so 3s to wound. That is going to be 2 wounds. AP nothing, so looking for 2-up saves. Making them both. All right, so that is going to be the end of the turn here into the morale phase. We check to see if you're broken. The rules stipulate in this mission that if your commander is out of action, you automatically fail your break test when you take it. So he has failed his break test, so my opponent is now broken. So now we're going to have to take nerve tests on everybody to see who is going to be okay. So we'll go with the leader over here. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys out of action here. So it's going to be 5 plus 1, 6. He's good to go. Then into his infiltrate over here. So 5 plus 5 is 10. He is not. He will be shaken. And then into this dude bro over here. +1 is good to go. And into this guy over here. It's good to go. Wow, well done. All right, so they're ready to stay in the fight over here. So, some of them, I guess, except for the combat specialist, who is now, unfortunately, in a bad place there with my dude bro. So, so that's going to be it for the phase there. So now we're going to roll to see who has initiative going into turn 3. I've got a 6. My opponent gets an 8, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Adeptus Mechanicus. Sorry, we forgot that he has the data tether here, which allows him to re-roll failed nerve tests. And on a 1, he's good, so everybody passed. Well done. All right, so everyone's gonna ready except for his dude bro, who's just gonna stay in combat with him over there. So that's going to be it for the movement phase for the Adeptus Mechanicus. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Grey Knights. All right, my heavy specialist and my con specialist are both gonna ready, and now my leader is gonna charge into his dude bro over here. So do his Overwatch here.
On 5s.
On 5s. Nope, no hits there. So charges. 4 inches might make it. All right, so into the psychic phase now. He is going to cast Hammerhand onto himself. On a 10, he will get it. And then he is going to cast Psybolt into this dude bro over here. And on an 8, he will get it with the 1 mortal wound into him. Is he out of action? No, he will take a 2nd flesh wound. All right, so now his dude bro over here is going to start us in the shooting phase by shooting into my heavy specialist. So he's out of half, right? So out of half and obscured, so looking for 5s to hit. Getting 1 hit there. His canticles that he got here was +1 strength, so that's not going to help him there. So this is going to be strength 3, so looking for a 5 to wound. That's a wound. Looking for a 3-up armor save. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, and now my con specialist is going to fire into his leader, hitting on 5s because of range and obscurement, but did not move, so 5s to hit. Oh boy, that is going to be good. So that's 3 hits there. These are strength 7, so looking for 2s to wound. That is going to be 3 wounds, AP -1, I believe, so 5-up saves. No, those are not saved. All right, so it's 1 damage, which is going to take him down to 0 there, so injury roll. On a 2, I'm going to spend a CP to reroll that into a 5, and he's out. And then my last readied guy over here is going to fire into his dude bro with the data tether over there. So it's going to be 6 shots from the heavy. He's going to get +1 because of the comm specialist, -1 because of obscurement, so hitting on 3s. That is going to be 4 hits, strength 4, looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 1 wound, AP nothing, so he's got his 4-up save. No, that's going to go through. Going to spend a CP to re-roll that. Into a 6, he's good. And now his combat specialist is going to fire his pistol into my brother over here.
On 3s.
On 3s to hit. That is going to be all but 1 hit. Sounds good. These are going to be strength 3, so 5s to wound. Getting 1, 2 wounds. But that's no extra AP. So it's just going to be 2 wounds there. 2-up armor saves. Making them both. All right, so into the fight phase, I'm going to spend 2 CP for Decisive Strike, and my opponent is also going to spend 2 CP for Decisive Strike. So now we will roll off to see who will get the actual first Decisive Strike. And on a 6, I will take the first one. All right, so with that, I'm going to activate my brother captain into his combat specials over here. He's going to have 6 attacks. He's got 4 attacks base, +1 because of the falchions, and +1 because of being melee specialism. These are going to be hitting on 2s. All right, all but 1 hit there. Strength 4, his toughness is 3, which would normally be wounding on 3s, but because of Hammerhand, wounding on 2s. All right, that's going to be all but 1 wound there. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds at AP -2. So these are going to be 6-up saves. Making 1 of them, so 3 are going to go through. So the first one is D3 damage. 3 damage, which is going to take him down to 0. Injury rolls. And on that 6, he is out. So because my opponent also did Decisive Strike, he will get to attack even before my guy who charged over here. So his 1 shot over here, he's got 2 flesh wounds now, so he's going to be -2 to hit. Looking for a 6 to hit. Oh, and he gets it! Oh, don't you do this. Don't you do this. Strength 4 now because of the +1 from his thing, and he's going to be wounding on a 4. No wound there. And now my leader over here is going to attack into his dude bro. So it's going to be 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That's going to be 1 hit, strength +1, strength 5, toughness 3, 3s to wound. That is a wound, AP -2, so 6-up save. No, that's going to go through. D3 damage, 3 damage, 3 injury rolls. And on double 6s, he is double dead. All right, and that is going to be it for the fight phase. So into the morale phase, he's just got the 1 guy since he's broken, has to take a leadership test here. So he's lost how many guys? Looking for 1 basically at this point. Ooh, does not get it. Reroll it there because of his data tether there, and into the 1. Man, that is awesome. These guys really do not want to have their minds wiped.
Shot.
All right, so that is going to be it for the movement phase. Or no, that's going to be it for the end of the turn there. So we are now going to roll off to see who has initiative. I rolled an 11, and my opponent rolled a 9, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Grey Knights. All right, so movement phase. He moved around the corner over there. He readied himself, and these two guys are going to charge. So we're going to start with the brother captain into him over here. So here comes his Overwatch.
On 5s.
On 5s because of his thing. No hits there. His charge distance, 4 inches should be in. And now my leader is going to charge into him as well. And 5 inches should get him in. All right, so now into the psychic phase. We're going to start with my leader. He is going to psych into his Dubro with Psybolt. On a 6, that's going to go off, so it's a mortal wound. Is he out of action? No, takes a flesh wound. And then my brother captain is going to do the same thing. And on a 5, it goes off, which becomes a 6 because of Grey Knights. And a +1. I'm going to spend a CP on that because... Into a 2. 2, but he was 2 plus... No, 2 plus 1.
Yeah.
Still alive! All right, so that is going to be it for psychic phase. No shooting phase to happen here, so we're going to go into the fight phase. Brother captain's going to try to finish him off here. Here we go. 6 attacks on 2s. There we go. Strength 4, toughness 3, so 3s to wound. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds there. These are AP -2, so 6 ups. Failed, makes 2 of them. So the first one is D3 damage, 3 damage. +2. Okay, finally. Man, that guy, they did not want to die, and they did not want to fail their shock test. They just wanted to stick around and not be erased. But at the end of the day, no one suspects the Imperial Inquisition as they come along and successfully wipe the information about those demons off of the face of this planet. So a victory for the Grey Knights here. Yeah, the Grey Knights did pretty good. So I'm not gonna lie, they did pretty good. It's always fun to see what they can do, and they did pretty good. Now, the brother captain, that was the first time I run him. He's pretty good. I like his abilities there, and with the plus melee and dropping him in so he's 5 inches away. I mean, with a 2-up armor save, he can tough out some things that are coming at him. So it's pretty good for 100 points. Not bad. I'll take that. So, but I had a ton of fun, and I it's always fun just to play this game. It's so quick and fast that you don't really have to worry too much about if things start to snowball, which they kind of did in this game. You just re-rack and you get to play another game. So. Good times. So, I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil the Glacial Geek as always. My opponent has been Ben, and until next time, have fun.